Hi Hans. Okay, just we started our new topic, current electricity or electric current. I given the definition of charge, types, properties of charge, and current, and what is the SI unit of current that we covered in the last video, right? In this chapter, that is current electricity chapter, we covered that one. Next one, we have the potential and current relation, that is gives you the Ohm's law, right? After that Ohm's law, we have the resistance, combination of resistors. What is the effective resistance when they are connected in the different combinations? We have what is the resistance, what is its unit, what is the resistivity, what is its units, and how it is changes with respect to the temperature or the dimensions of the material, so that we can discuss one by one, right? First, we have a potential. Potential or potential difference, they represented by capital V. So this is the topic we are discussing in current or electricity. Okay. And now potential difference, it is represented by capital V. The definition for this one is, before getting to the definition of this, what is the potential, what is the potential difference? Okay, that we will discuss. Correct. Before that, we can have here, there is a level difference makes, there is a flow of fluid, right? Liquid. The liquid can be flow when the levels should be having some difference. The level of one and another level both should be at equal with respect to the surface of the earth. There is no flow of the liquid from one level to other or one place to another. So one place to another, they can be flow only when there is some slope or there is some difference in the levels. High level to lower level, automatically the liquid can be flow, right? Same way, the air can be blows from high pressure to low pressure, isn't it? Where we have the pressure is more, where we have the pressure is less, high pressure to low pressure, the fluid can be flow, the air can be blow. That is, there is should be pressure difference, isn't it? Same way, that heat energy can be flows from hot body to cold body or higher temperature to lower temperature. There should be some temperature difference, isn't it? So flow of heat energy or flow of liquid or flow of gases or takes place, there should be some difference is there. For flow of fluid, that is pressure difference. Flow of heat energy, temperature difference. Flow of liquid, level difference. Then only they can be flow, right? Same way, the charge can be flow. The charge can be flow only when there is some potential difference. There is some potential difference, right? There is a two potentials are there, the V1 V2. If the V1 V2 both are equal, the charges cannot be flow between that two potentials V1 and V2 because they are equal. The potentials are equal. But if it is not equal, there is some potential difference is existing between the two potentials. There is a flow of charge from high potential to low potential. There you can get the current can be obtained, right? So flow of charge is current we discussed, but when it will be flow, there is a potential difference is there between any 2 points in a conductor. There between the 2 points the charge can be flow, you can get the current, right? So that is here required. So potential and potential difference, all right? So first I will give you the potential. So what is the potential? So potential is nothing but it is defined as the amount of work done on a charge to bring at any point in a given electric field. For any charge you want to bring, how much amount of work we are doing in any given electric field, that amount of work done per charge is called potential. Potential is given by work done by charge. So here potential is equal to, we can write here, work done upon charge. Work done upon charge is called potential, right? So you can write this one is potential is equal to, it is W by Q. W by Q. You can write SI unit of potential, SI unit of potential, which is volt. SI unit of potential is volt. Okay, CGS unit, there is no need to write the CGS units. If you go for the CGS units, it is erg per coulomb. In that way you can write. So only remember this SI unit of potential is volt, right? And here this is what you can be observed the potential definition. Okay, now you can write. Suppose this is a wire conductor. This is the point A. This is the point B, right? And this point A is having a potential of VA. At point B, the potential is VB. And here there is a potential at point A, point B. We are having VA and VB. Here you can see the conditions. First one, if potential at A is equal to potential at B, no charge can flow between A and B. If this is a condition is there, that means potential at point A, potential at point B, both are equal. There is no charge can be flow between the 2 points. Or if you observe VA is greater than VB, the potential at point A is greater than potential at point B. That means here higher potential, here lower potential, automatically the charge can be flow from high potential to low potential, the charge can be flow. Correct? The charge is nothing but electrons. You can say Q. Okay. So now in conductor, number of free electrons are available so that they can be flow from high potential to low potential. You can get the current. This is the direction of electron flow. E minus is electron. E minus is electron. So electrons are flowing from high potential to low potential. But the direction of current is in this direction you can have. Current direction is here, I. Direction of current is always it can be taken opposite direction of charge flow. Okay, that is the current direction. So that we can be observed here, right? So if VA is greater than VB, there is charge is flowing from point A to point B inside this conductor, right? So here no charge can flow between A and B, but in this case charge flow from point A to point B. Charge flow from A to B, right? Similarly, if you go the other relation, potential at B is greater than potential at A, then the charge can be flow from where to where? Point B to point A, right? Charge flow from B to A, right? So in order to flow the charge in a given conductor, there must be the potential differences should not be equal. Either this condition satisfied, there is a charge can be flow. If both the potentials are equal, the charge cannot be flow. There is current is zero from that conductor, right? So that is the potential difference. So potential difference is required between any 2 points where the charge can be flow between the 2 points you can observe. So that is related to potential difference. Just remember here, potential is work done per unit charge and its SI unit is volt. And the charge can be flow in a conductor or through a conductor only when there is a potential difference is existing between any 2 points. Okay? These 2 points or 3 points you have to remember, right? Next, we can move on to the Ohm's law. So here we have another one which is important one, that is Ohm's law. So what is Ohm's law? So this person, scientist name, Ohm is a scientist name. He observed that the current passing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across the ends of the conductor. how much potential difference is there, based on that the current can be passing through that conductor. Okay, that is observed and given by this Ohm. Hence it is called as the Ohm's law. At a given temperature, at a given temperature, at a constant temperature, at a given temperature, the amount of current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to potential difference across the ends of the conductor at constant temperature or given temperature is called as the Ohm's law. Right? So here Ohm's law states that the current flowing or passing, you can write the current passing through conductor, the current passing through conductor is directly proportional to potential difference across the ends of the conductor. Directly proportional to potential difference across the ends of the conductor, at a given temperature. Okay, this is what it is called as a Ohm's law. Is called Ohm's law. Okay, so this is a statement, and according to the statement, you can add the equation. The current is directly proportional to the potential difference across the conductor. That means you can write here, that is V proportional to I. That means you have a conductor here. This is a wire. Here it is a P. Here it is a point Q. Right? So these two are connected between a battery. The battery can be supplying a potential of this, a positive terminal, negative terminal. This is the applied potential from the battery. Okay, this is a high potential, this is a low potential. So automatically the charge can be flow from high potential to low potential, you can be get. So the current can be flow, that is from positive charge to negative charge. So here the point is P, here the point is Q here. So this is a conductor. So between these two conductors, the amount of the current can be passing is depends upon this applied potential. That is observed and given by this Ohm, right? And here you can measure the current in this. That is by using ammeter. If you connect it in series with the circuit, then you can measure the current also, right? Now in this V proportional to I we have, and this proportionality constant we can take. So V is equal to I into R. V is equal to I into R, where this R is called as a proportionality constant and which is called as a resistance of the wire, where R resistance of the conductor. Right? So this is the equation which is called as the Ohm's law. Right? V is equal to IR. The potential difference across the ends of the conductor is equal to the current passing through the conductor and its resistance offered by the conductor, IR. I is the current, R is the resistance. When you multiply both, you can get a potential difference across the ends of the conductor, which can having the property of resisting the flow of charge, which is called the resistance, and it can be allowing some certain amount of the current is I. Then we can have this equation. This is called as a Ohm's law. V is equal to IR is called as Ohm's law. Right? And now here R is a resistance, right? R is a resistance. So what is the resistance, and on what factors the resistance depends, and what are its units, SI unit, okay, and depending factors that we can be seeing. But before that, you can have here potential and current are directly proportional. When you draw the graph between this potential and current, you will get a straight line because they are directly proportional. So you will get a straight line. So the straight line you can get when you draw the graph between the V and I. So here VI graph, potential and current graph when you drawn, where the Ohm's law is valid, where Ohm's law is applicable, then the graph is, you will get a straight line passing through origin, right? Here VI graph, that is voltage current graph, voltage current graph, VI graph. And here VI graph, there you can be observed to be having where the Ohm's law is valid. Ohm's law is valid. So Ohm's law is valid means V proportional to I, isn't it? So that you can get here a straight line obtained when you draw the graph between voltage and current. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and when you draw a graph between this voltage and current, you will get a straight line passing through origin. And here the angle made by this straight line with the current axis or maybe potential axis. Let it be with current axis, the angle made by it is theta. Then you can make at this particular current I, the voltage is V at this point, which can be intersecting here and which can be intersecting at this potential. So this is the origin, it is 0. So this is a point, here to here the current is I, and here to here, from origin to this intersection point on the y-axis, the voltage is V. Right? Now you can calculate. This is O, this is A point, this is a little bit B point. So in this triangle, you can write what is a tan theta. That is opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side is nothing but AB, but AB is nothing but what it is? V, potential. So you can write here tan theta is equal to AB upon OA. Opposite side by adjacent side. So you can write tan theta is equal to AB. AB is nothing but potential. OA, O to A is nothing but current. So voltage by current is nothing but resistance. So when you calculate the tan theta in the graph of voltage current, you can get the resistance. So this tan theta is nothing but it is a slope of VI graph is equal to resistance. This is the important information you have to remember. Where the Ohm's law is applicable or where the Ohm's law is valid, obeyed, there you can be observe this type of information. Correct? And similarly, the slope of this graph we have here, right? If you make the other way of calculation, there is one more is there. The slope of this VI graph you can get it is resistance. And there is one more definition is there which is called as conductance. Resistance, conductance. That is, the reciprocal of resistance is conductance. The reciprocal of resistance is conductance. So I can write here, there is one more term which is what is that? Which is conductance. Conductance represented by G, capital G, which is equal to or which is defined as the reciprocal of resistance. The reciprocal of resistance is called conductance. Is called conductance. So that is G is equal to 1 upon R. But 1 upon R is nothing but what you can write here by Ohm's law. Since we can be having V is equal to IR, but we require 1 by R. So bring this R to this side and here you can be write I by V. Right? So I can write this conductance is given by this I by V. Current upon potential or voltage is nothing but it is conductance. Right? Resistance, conductance. So this is what you can be observed. Ohm's law, where we can be having that application, there the voltage and current is directly proportional and the graph will become a straight line passing through origin. Fine. Now, coming to this another one, that is what is the resistance and what factors it is depends. Okay, we'll come into that. resistance. Resistance. So resistance is the property of the conductor. It is a property of the conductor which can opposes the flow of charge from it. Which can opposes the flow of charge from the conductor. Okay, that property of conductor is called resistance. So here resistance, it is represented by capital R. So what is the resistance? The property of conductor or the inherent property of conductor. The inherent property of conductor which opposes the flow of charge is called resistance. That means it can be restricting the flow of charge from the conductor. The property of conductor by which what it is doing? It is doing restriction of flow of charge from the conductor. It is not allowing, it is opposing for flow of charge from the conductor. That is a property which is called as the resistance of the conductor. Right? And from the Ohm's law, resistance is given by. So by using Ohm's law, we can write here. By using Ohm's law, what you can have? V is equal to IR, isn't it? So from this, what is R? R is the V by I. Resistance is given by voltage upon current. So according to this SI units, we can write it is a voltage per ampere. Volt per ampere is a unit generally, but SI unit of resistance is ohm. SI unit of resistance is ohm. So here I can write SI unit of resistance. SI unit of resistance is ohm, OHM, and its symbol is like omega. OHM, ohm. Right? The name of the scientist. Already Ohm's law is there, no? So with the honor of that person who given the information related to this flow of current from the conductor, according to that person name only, that unit is given for the resistance as a ohm. Right? So SI unit of resistance is ohm, and 1 ohm is equal to, you can write that is 1 ohm is equal to here 1 potential, 1 current. That means here 1 volt per 1 ampere. 1 volt upon 1 ampere is 1 ohm. 1 ohm is defined as the resistance offered by a conductor when the potential difference is applied across the conductor is 1 volt, so that the current passing from the conductor is 1 ampere. Then the resistance offered by the conductor is 1 ohm. Isn't it? So define 1 ohm. Define 1 ohm. The 1 ohm is defined as when the potential difference across the conductor is maintained 1 volt, then the current passing through the conductor is 1 ampere. Right? That is called as a 1 ohm resistance offered by that conductor. Right? So that we can write 1 ohm is equal to 1 volt per 1 ampere. Okay. So what is the resistance and what is its equation according to Ohm's law, and what is a SI unit of resistance, and what is the definition for 1 ohm. Okay. Similarly, we have SI unit of conductance. Already I said what is the conductance? It is reciprocal of resistance, isn't it? So I can put here conductance capital G is equal to this 1 upon R, which is nothing but it is I by V, isn't it? So now can you write what is the SI unit of conductance? So now I am writing here SI unit of conductance. SI unit of conductance. So that is, you can write here reciprocal of resistance, means here SI unit of resistance is ohm. 1 by ohm you can write, or you can write in reverse of ohm, MHO, mho. The SI unit of conductance is 1 by ohm or mho, or it is called as a Siemen, SIEMEN. It is the name of the scientist again. So SI unit of conductance is Siemen, SIEMEN. Okay. So one more apart of Siemen, you can also use this one is other units to measure this conductance is 1 by ohm. Other units I am writing, not SI unit, other unit. Other units of conductance. Okay, that is 1 by ohm, or you can write it is reverse of ohm, that is mho. Okay, you can use 1 by ohm or ohm inverse or mho, MHO. This is ohm inverse also you can write. So these are the other way of representation of units for the conductance, but actually SI unit is Siemen, SIEMEN, Siemen or Siemens. Okay, that is SI unit of conductance. Resistance, conductance. Conductance is the property of conductor which can be allow the flow of current or allow the flow of charge. Opposition of flow of charge is resistance. Property of allowing the flow of charge is conductance. Conducting, that is allowing. Not conducting, opposing, that is resistance. Right? So this is the information you have to remember related to which one it is. Related to it is resistance and conductance. Okay. So next we can have resistance depends on what factors? Resistance depends on what factors for a given conductor? Okay, definitely the nature of the conductor. Resistance of the material depends on the nature of the conductor, and also depends on its dimensions, that is the length and area of the material, and also temperature. So these are depending factors, and equation how it is related. The resistance of the given wire is depends on what factors, that is length and area of cross section. So that calculation, that equation is there. One more we can write for resistance in terms of dimensions of the given conductor. So that equation we can write in the next video, right? Signing off. We'll see in the next video.